Upper Structures, Lesson 3. On page 18 of my book, I continue talking about upper structures. And there's a tune called Pools, which I've chosen to illustrate a dominant 7th chord, upper structure 6. Pools was written by pianist Don Grolnick, and it was the group Steps that played it and made it famous. And Steps had the likes of people like Mike Brecker, Randy Brecker, and Eddie Gomez, and Don Grolnick for a while was the pianist. This uses upper structure 6, so we're on C, and 6 is A, so you get the triad of A, but I put it in an inversion, so it sounds like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't written the root there. Without the root it would sound like this, and that's what the pianist would play, but I'm just putting in a root because if I don't put the root in, it doesn't sound quite as strong, but that could be played by a bass player. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next example is Someday My Prince Will Come, and that is a jazz standard from the jazz canon, and I use a couple of upper structures in the 2nd and the 4th bar. It sounds like this. In bars 2 and 4, I'm using upper structures and an upper structure flat 6. So on D7, here's D, 6 is B, so flat 6 is a B flat chord. And here I put it in an inversion because it sounds better if it's a bit close to the left hand. I think you can hear that yourself. Now listen to it in first inversion nearer the left hand. I think it sounds better. And in the 4th bar we have the upper structure, but it's now on G7. So here's G7, and upper structure flat 6 is an E flat triad. So here we go. But I wouldn't be playing it up there because it's far too far from the left hand. I'm also spelling out the left hand with everything there. So I'm going to take out the 5th and I'm going to just play the guide tones in the left hand. So here we go. And that gives us the upper structure flat 6, which is an E flat triad. I'll just pop a little root in there. You can hear how it sounds. Let's play that again. So there isn't a B flat in this chord, but I think we've got enough of the E flat triad to kind of sound like that upper structure. And the reason for that is obviously we want the tune to be at the top. Could have probably put it in underneath. There you go. Just a little bit clashy in the middle. The final example is Soul Eyes, and this was recorded by John Coltrane and McCoy Tyner, and this comes from the Ballad album. Coltrane plays ballads, and it's written by Mal Waldron, and it's a beautiful ballad. I'm now going to play it and pause on some of the upper structures. Okay. And that's upper structure 2. We're on F7. So 2 is a G, so we have the triad of G over F. We don't have all of the notes of G. I've left out the G, but we have enough to make it sound like G. I could put the G at the top, but that wouldn't help you because you wouldn't hear the melody. And now we have an upper structure flat 6 on B flat. So B flat, flat 6 is F sharp. So we have a triad of F sharp in the right hand. That's F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp over the guide tones in the left hand. Put the root in. Beautiful chord. Now I'm going to pause on this upper structure flat 6. So C is our chord, it's C7, 6 is A. We're doing flat 6, which is an A flat triad. And this one, it's in an inversion, but I don't put all the notes in. I have an E flat and an A flat, and the C comes here at the top when the melody goes to it. So the melody is, and there we go, that's completing it. I did rush past a upper structure in the last but one bar. It's not really in the same kind of spirit of the other upper structures, in that it's one of those ones that's a half diminished, and the notes are G, D flat, and in my right hand I'm going C, F, A, so it's a triad of F. Now that's a G7 with the flat 5. However, if I put an E flat in the bass, you can see that it's virtually the same as E flat 7 with an upper structure of F, which is the second one. You often get that chords could be like kind of two things at the same time, depending on what the root is. So this one has a root of G, but if I put an E flat in the bass, you'd get E flat 7 upper structure 2, or a sharp 11 chord. So I was merely commenting that this shape could be thought of like that, but it's still a G minor 7 flat 5. In the next lesson, I'm just going to talk about upper structures, and not specifically pages from this book, but just continuing the idea of how you can alter a piece of music just by varying the dominant seventh.